Hello and welcome to Ready Set Demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room for another in our Fancy Folds library series. So this one is the pull tab and front flap. You will find all the measurements here that you need for both US and A4. And this is how the card works. This is my little template, and we are going to see how to make that. So you pull the flap out, and now although I've put image on the front and greeting underneath, of course you can reverse that. You can have an image on both of them and have your greeting inside. So your choice. So I will show you how to make the template for this. So you're going to need a base card, either in your US or your A4 size, and remember in your pack you also have all the measurements for that. We are going to need I'm going to use a couple of layers on here. On this one that I'm just showing you, I've only got one layer, but on this one we're going to have 2 layers. So we will just start off by gluing that on, and as I say, all the measurements are on your sheet. So that's your 2 basic layers. Now when it comes to these pieces, these are going to be the 3rd layer on your list. So I will just say US is 4 3/4 by 3.5, 5 by 3 1/4 for A4, and this one you need to punch. You're going to use the classic label punch to punch this, and we want it to be roughly in the middle, but if you go all the way in as far as you can, that's going to give you something roughly in the middle. It doesn't need to be exactly, but that gives us a good basis to work from. Right, let's play with the mechanism. So for this you want a tab of 6 inches by 2 inches, and we're going to score, I'm turning it the other way around now, at 2 inches by 2.5. So you can see I have already scored those 2, and we need to punch. And you can use the tab topper punch, or you can use the delightful tag punch. And I'm going to push that all the way in and punch, and that gives us a little pull tab to work with. Now don't worry if you think this is looking too long. It does. It does look too long, but it isn't too long, I promise you. After lots of playing around with cutting it down thinking it isn't. Trust in me with this one. So our front panel looks like this. This is going to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, 2.5 by 2.5. So the 2 3/4 piece I want to attach onto here. Now the important thing here is only to put glue on this little piece here, and where you want that that edge to be is right up at the edge, right close to the edge of your layer, and you want it to be roughly in the middle, top to bottom, so it looks like that when it's together. So you need it right close to that layer. And then this piece in here is where you are going to have your greeting. So normally you would stamp this first before you pop it in, and this little panel is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And if you're doing this as a template, then I would actually write greeting on there, because that's what it is referred to in the notes. So when you're looking at it, you will be able to find that. And then your image one, we're going to pop on the top. Like that. And again, obviously, you would stamp that first before assembling it. Okay, so we've got those two pieces there. This one, this piece here, is going through your designer series paper, and you want this to end up in the middle with a little tab showing. Depending on whether you're using the US layer or the A4 layer, you will have less or more of this tab showing, but the idea is to actually use it to pop a little piece of ribbon through. You don't want it to be too far out because you don't want, you know, reams of ribbon, and you don't want this kind of over the edge. So basically you're going to just pop a little piece of ribbon through that, and that's what you will pull. Now, the place that you are putting glue on this tab, once you've popped it through, is just along the edge here. You don't want that to be anywhere else. And when we close this down, I'm going to be quite careful about how I do this. You want to position your front piece in the middle of the designer series paper. So it is just, the glue is just on that edge piece, and then you'll see, yay, it works. The actual pulley piece will work. Now, ideally, I would pop the this piece up on dimensionals, because if you put glue, you're not giving it a lot of room to move. So I'm just going to pop some dimensionals around the edge. Give it a little bit of support in the middle there as well. And you should find that that works beautifully. And then as we take that out, you get that lovely effect of the flip. Right, well, let's have a little look at the example that I made of the pull tab and flip front. I just love this. Look at that. How cute is that? So what I've used to make this is a Snowman Season from the Autumn, Winter or Seasonal catalogue. Of course, you can make this with other stamps. Doesn't need to be a festive one, but it does make a really cute little festive card. I've just stamped the Merry Christmas from there on the inside as well. So a really fun fancy fold. Thank you for visiting a Ready Set demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room today.